So you guys watched the videos on how to make a slab box, but we're not actually going to make the whole box for the project. You guys are just going to learn how to do the miter joint and how to do the butt joint. So if you choose to do a large box for one of your final projects, you know what you're doing. So what you're going to need to do is roll out 3 squares. You guys need to roll it out at 3/8 of an inch. Use the template, cut it out just like we did for our tile. So I'm not going to show you how to do that. Second thing you're going to do is create a miter joint. A miter joint is created when we create a 45-degree angle on each side. So when we add them together, they make a 90-degree corner. So what you're going to do is use a miter tool, and you're going to line this up. You do it on the table, but I'm going to show you on the video so you guys can see. It's going to create that 45 angle on it. So that's why you want to keep it flush up next to it. And you're just going to take this tool, press it next to it, and slide. So what it'll look like, you guys can see it a little bit better. I'm just keeping this tool pressed up next to it and cutting that 45-degree angle. I'm going to add a 45 on this side as well. So I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm cutting my paper, so I'm going to lift it up. Now, I messed it up a little bit when my paper cut, so I'm just going to run over it again, making sure it's nice and smooth. Okay, and then I'm going to score and slip those 2 edges together. So I'm just going to rough it up. Add a little bit of slip. It is better to have too much slip than not enough. We can always wipe it off when it oozes out. We should know that by now. I'm going to attach them together. So the purpose of using that miter joint, again, is to not show the crease, and it prevents cracking in your wall. So then I can kind of pinch, pull it together. And then on the inside, we want to add that support coil. And this should be, again, a review from the video, but we're just going to attach 2 of these walls together. In your regular slab box that you guys are going to make, you would make support coils on every edge. In this practice that you guys are doing for me, you're just going to create 1 support coil to show that you know how to do it. Then the top square that I'm going to add on, I'm going to do a butt joint. So I'm just going to lay it right over the top and score and slip. This is not something that you guys are going to keep. You're going to turn in photos of your finished product. So I'm going to score that edge, score here. Slip. Okay, and I'm going to attach that top part. And I always kind of wiggle back and forth, making sure that it attaches really well. Again, making a slab box, you would attach a support coil, but for the sake of the practice, I'm not going to make you do that because you're already showing me how to do one, smoothing that out, making it nice and clean. And then the last part that you guys are going to do is seal your edge here so your line isn't showing. You may need to press it together, and you may need to take a flat metal scraper to it. Like mine, I'm going to need to take the flat metal scraper to it a little bit to make that line go away. All right, and then we're going to be cutting a lid into this. You guys are going to get an X-Acto knife, and the X-Acto knives are in the blocks up here. If you pull one out and it doesn't have a blade, just grab a different one. Okay, so go back to your desk. I had a lot of confusion with this on why I'm having you guys use this X-Acto blade. So the lid that you guys are cutting is going to be pulled off. So you're really only making 3 sides of this as an example. So I do want you guys to practice using the X-Acto knife to cut. And what I have kids do when you're working on your slab box is draw a line with your needle tool first. If you have it straight across, you have to create a notch in it. Otherwise, your lid is just going to fall off and slide. The corners need to match up. So I do that with my needle tool first. And then I'm going to take my X-Acto knife. If your clay is harder than when you're cutting with the X-Acto knife, you don't have to cut all the way through. So what I'm doing, if I don't match up with my needle tool line, that's okay. But I'm holding it together while I'm working on it. You can even set it down on the table. When I get to the notch, I don't turn it with my X-Acto knife in the clay. I'll just pull that out and start again. So then I just pull the lid off, and now you've shown me that you know how to do a miter joint, a butt joint, and how to cut your lid.